Do something first. What do you say, AJ?
Thank you. Yeah. I'll have to know and get back to him. Thank you.
Tell him have a great day.
Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Appreciate it.
Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead, and it's time for Thankful Thursday. And today's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna bring you along with me. I've got 3 different desserts I want to make for the fire department. This year I'm going to make stuff that goes in 9x13s so that we can label it and hand it to them, because they stay at the firehouse for 1 to 3 days. So it's not like the police department where they're coming in and out, in and out, in and out. So I decided that would be a little bit easier for me this year, because it does take a lot of work to get all those bags put together. So I'm just saying. All right, so, and we're going to talk as we go along, which, you know I blabber on anyway. So if you could do me a favor, though, I know that Carrie keeps telling people, make sure you like the video and share it and, comment on it and whatever, so it can kind of push me out into the YouTube world, because YouTube can sometimes be, yeah, anyway. So I was trying to think of what to talk about today, and because we are doing the homeless bags tomorrow, and I have just a little 15-second video that I'll put in with today that we dropped off the cupcakes to the police department. So I thought maybe today we'd talk about servicing other people, and I found 2 Bible verses that I thought would be good for it. The first one is Acts 20:35. In everything I did, I showed you that by this kind of hard work, we must help the weak, remembering the words of the Lord Jesus himself said, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." And I agree. Matthew 5:16. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Because, like, I was talking to Rhoda, and she said the same thing, that she hopes that people see God through her. And I think with most Christians, we don't want to preach it to you, you know what I mean? And like, come on, you got to go over here. That's not how we want to be, most of them. Well, there are some that do, but I think mostly we would like to have you see God through us. And that, yeah, whatever. But anyways, I'm rambling already and I haven't even started. So I will take us into prayer, and then we shall start the first thing. So hopefully they like everything that we make for them tomorrow. I think they will. The fire department is so awesome. They really are. And Emmy got to go into the police department today. He thought it was cool. He was running to the door, and then he didn't go up to the police officer, but he was, playing around in the waiting room. You can hear in the back room, in the back of the video. All right, so Heavenly Father, thank you for blessing us all to be here today together. And I ask that you wrap your arms around each and every person that is watching and listening to this video today. Even if there's unbelievers out there, we know that you watch over them as well. And that's fine. They will come to you in their own time, if they ever do. Today we're going to talk about serving others. And I think that that's so important. That even if we don't have any money, we don't have anything, we have ourselves and we have you to be able to lead and to put things out into the universe and out into the world, that how amazing that you truly are, and that we hope that you see that through us. I know that in each and every person that's watching this, we do see God through them as well, and that's so important. I ask that you bless us tomorrow to be able to find 24 homeless to be able to serve right away. That's always nice when we don't have to search for them. And I ask that you maybe reach and touch someone else's heart, that they might do the same thing, and to teach their grandchildren or their children how to be service to others. You didn't ask us to be walked on, but you did ask us to be of service. I ask that everybody that has illnesses or anything else going on right now, physical, mental, emotional, financial, whatever it is, I ask that you wrap your arms around them and lift them if you need to be able to carry them so that they can do what they need to do. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So now enough of my ramblings, right? Okay. So I'm going to take a 9x13 pan. I know that was noisy, wasn't it? And I'm going to make an easy blueberry dump cake. Most people like blueberries. Well, except for my grandson. He hates them. AJ hates blueberries. I'm like, how can you be my grandkid? Really? Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is I have Tom bring me up 2 quarts because I don't know how filling this is going to be. And I don't want it to be just like, you know, you get a couple blueberries and then that's it. Let me get something else to help spoon that out of there. That's not very long. That will be better. And this blueberry pie filling, you guys, is far better than any you would buy at the store. Just saying. And it's got more blueberries than juice. Like, I buy some of those at the store, and oh my gosh, you guys, there's like no blueberries in there. It's all juice. That's kind of discouraging, you know? Because I don't know about you guys, if I bite into a blueberry dump cake, I want some blueberries. I think that covers it nicely, but you know what? Let's give them a nice, juicy blueberry dump cake. How about that? Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. And it empties out a few more jars. My son said that in the back of their apartment building, they have a big mulberry tree. And he says, have you ever made mulberry jam, Mom? And I'm like, no. And he goes, well, draw people to your channel. And I said, if you want me to make you some, go get them. Are you going to make a video of it? And I said, yeah, I'll make a video of it. So we might be doing some mulberry jam if he gets it around for me. That'd be kind of nice, huh? I've never had mulberry jam. There's always a first for everything. All right. See, I think that looks better. Nice and thick and, oh, yeah. Now we're going to take a bowl. Everything I'm making today is going to be from cake mixes. So that's not a bad thing. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to bring in some chocolate chips. I'll have to go in the back room and get them. So now you're going to use a white cake mix. I know some of those people just plop it right out, don't they? Not me. Never got so lucky to do that. All right. Let me stir this up a little bit. I've got 8 tablespoons, which is a half a cup of melted butter. And we're going to pour that in there. Let's get that mixed together. Because what we're doing with this is we just want to make it like a crumble. So we got to get it all mixed in, but we don't want it to be like a cake mix or, you know what I mean, anything like that. We want it to be a crumble. So in the comments below, so that you can give other people ideas on what they can do to be of service, you know, make a note on things that you do to help your community or your family or your friends or your neighbors or whatever, and maybe it can give other people ideas on what they can do. Not everybody has to service, you guys, and this is how it goes, okay? It is very expensive to do this, to do the homeless things and whatever, and someone asked me about it, and it is about $300, a little bit over than that for Christmas, and then $150 or a little bit more than that for summer. And I cover most of it, and it's okay. You know, I mean, because I know it's coming up, and Tom knows that even if we're broke, it's going to happen. That's it. And he's fine with it. And that's part of the reason I love him, because he gets behind me in anything that I want to do. So you never have to do it to that level. You know what I mean? You can, you know, like a couple of days, me and Tom, we took leftovers down to the homeless that we had because we didn't have any room in the freezer. You know, a couple of sandwiches, whatever, you know, a smile, anything. You can contribute without paying anything. So don't let that intimidate you. You know, you can still be of service and not have it cost you a fortune. Now we're going to take those crumbles and kind of, here, let me put you back down there so you're not seeing my mug again. You're going to kind of spread those crumbles out so they cover the whole entire thing. That looked good. I'm glad we used 2 of the jars. I know it's more than what it says, but you know something? Sometimes things just need to be yummy and just, yeah. So let's put this in the oven. And this is going to go in the oven for 30 minutes. And because Tom has the day off tomorrow, so what they did is because he couldn't work Saturday because of Emmy's birthday, they wouldn't let him work Friday either. I was not happy about that. Anyway, so he will have the day off tomorrow. We're going to take Emmy's car seat out, and Tom is going to go with us for the first time. So he's like, well, I can go do errands and stuff. And I'm like, no, I think AJ would like to see you go with us. So let me get my chocolate chips and stuff, and I'll be right back. All right, so the next thing we're going to make is cookie or cake mix cookie bars. So the first thing we need to do is beat 2 eggs. I ordered me some more eggs because I'm going to use just about all of them up today. Well, from what I usually use too, so. Alrighty. So we got the 2 eggs beat up. We're so mean. Alright, now we're going to use a yellow cake mix. I know my chiropractor finally called me. I called him on my way home from dropping the kids off. And he goes, well, I don't open till 1 today. And I go, well, that'll give me time to cook everything, so that works out fine. I must have slept wrong because my shoulders, my back is hurting. Not that it doesn't always hurt, but you know what I mean. Alright, now we're going to use a 1/3 cup. It says olive oil, but you can sub it for vegetable oil. When I bake, I use vegetable oil. When I cook, I use olive oil. I just don't want that olivey taste in my cake mix. My food, it tastes great. And then we're going to add those 2 eggs to it. And we're going to get that mixed together. Look at that. Another 10 minutes and that first one should be done. Because I do dishes in between. I know. I'm just that way. I can't help myself. I can't stand dirty dishes. All right. I think we got that mixed together pretty good. Now we're going to use 12 ounces of chocolate chips. And I'm actually going to be able to refill my chocolate chip thing today because I'm going to use chocolate chips on the next one. And that's all I got left in that container, so then I can put my new ones in there. I always try to keep one ahead, so once I fill this one up, I'm going to bring this in my lap. With my thumb it's easier, I think. When I tap into that one, then I'll order another one. So that I always have, you know, my backup. You never know when somebody goes, hey, can you make a bunch of chocolate chip cookies? Because AJ said to me the other day, he said, Grandma, do you think you could go on a field trip with me next year? And do you think that you could also make goodies for school? I don't think they let you do that anymore. But I told him, I said, yeah, if they'll let me do it, I will. All right, so we're going to pour that into the pan. Look at that. Look how easy that is. And then it says spread it out. It's going to take forever with that spoon. It said it could take minutes and minutes with the spoon. My hands are clean. I just did dishes. But it's a lot easier to spread it out. So I wouldn't feed anything to anybody if my hands weren't clean or whatever. So, but most of you that have been with me for a long time, you know that. You'll get those haters once in a while, but that's okay. All right, so now this is going to go in the oven. All these are on 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. All right, let me get that mess cleaned up and we'll go to the next one. All right, I got the dishes done back up and my order came. So we got all of our bread for the sandwiches, and I ordered something for tonight's dinner a week ago. Tom put it in the freezer, but Tom can't remember where. So I had to order more for tonight's dinner. Before I go on to the third one, I'm going to pull those out here in a second. But before I do that, I want you guys to know, like when I say to be of service, that isn't just a Christian thing. You know, that's a human being thing. So even if you don't believe in God, you can still, you know, be of service to people. And I got to thinking about it as I was doing dishes the first time. My squirrel came up on the fence. And I said, are you hungry, baby? And he's sitting there staring at me, you know. And so maybe it isn't always just to be of service to humans. Maybe it's a service to be a service to animals as well. He's a city squirrel, so I'm sure a lot of other people feed him other than me. Because he'll be gone 2 or 3 days at a time sometimes. So I'm sure someone else is feeding him. But he comes to me and he looks very sad. Although he's fat, he looks very sad. So, you know, it's like, you need to feed me. He's too funny. But so service doesn't have to be just a Christian thing. We all think that it is because God tells us to be like that. You know, Jesus speaks of, you know, he didn't want to be serviced. He wanted to be of service. I can't remember the verse for that, but I know that it's in there. But, you know, it's a human factor. So many of us are so busy that we really truthfully just seem like we don't have time to do things for other people. And, you know, I know with the hustle and bustle of everything, sometimes there's not time. And like I'm trying to think of ways so Tom doesn't have to work anymore. I could go back to full-time with my job and be miserable. I can continue to try to grow my YouTube channel. I mean, there's things that, you know, like I told him today, you know, I mean, I'm 57, but he's nearly 67. And at some point, you've got to start to live life. And I don't know that we'll ever get to do that with the cost of insurance and everything. But I've been watching the 1870s homestead, and she just retired. And, you know, you guys, I mean, she looks so much more relaxed and like she's enjoying what she's doing. And that says a lot. So I don't know how I got off on that tangent. But anyway, let me check this real quick. You know how I am. My mind just goes a million different places. And it just does. You know, I got a cake thing tester. And you think I can find it? No. Nope, I cannot. It's terrible. Oh, Oh, the cookies are done. I think that the other thing is done too, but look at those. But the top is not browning as much. I'm going to let that cook for a few more minutes because I would like that top to get a little brown. All right, so back to what I was talking about. We can be of service to humans. We can be of service to animals. We can, you know, like, oh, I know what I was thinking. My son and his wife, you know, like, I take the kids every day. So, like, for Tom to retire right now would be kind of like, why? Because I have to be here every day anyway. But I think we get to that point in our lives that we're just ready to slow down. We're just, and I don't mean like curl up and die. I don't mean anything like that, but just the hustle and bustle. And I think about our, you know, every night he gets home and he's got to eat and then he's got to take a shower and then he's got to go to bed. It's like that every day. You know what I mean? And so it would be nice to not have to live like that. But anyway, so that's beyond service. But I would like to be of service to my husband as well. So I'm trying to think of things. Because he's been such a hard worker. And like we drove through MSU today and AJ was like, what is that? And I go, that's part of MSU too. And that's part of MSU. And I said, you see this big fancy building? And he's like, yeah. And I go, Grandpa Tom helped build that. He says, really, Grandma? And I said, yeah, so if ever you have, you know, a field trip out here, you can tell them that Grandpa Tom helped build that. And I says, you remember the big clock downtown Lansing? He says, yeah. And I go, Grandpa did all the coping on that building. He says, Grandma, I would never, ever, ever go up that high. Not ever. And I says, well, don't get in construction, baby. Because that's what Grandpa had to do. So being of service can be for a lot of different reasons, for different people or different things or whatever it happens to be. I tried to raise my children to be giving and kind and loving and affectionate and whatever, and I think most of us do that. And I think that's very important. Yes, I'll wash my hands before I get started. My nose just was itching really bad. But, you know, like, I used to have them take the names off the Christmas tree, and then they would shop for somebody. Well, then when I became single, I couldn't afford to do that anymore. I could barely afford to buy their Christmas gifts. So, you know, you can maybe find different ways to be of service. Right now, there's a lot of places I know here in the U.S. that they serve children lunches every day at different places. Maybe you could call and, you know, see if you could donate some of your time to help feed those little kids, you know, during the summer. Because especially right now, even if parents are on food stamps, you know, I mean, it's just not going as far. And, you know, them then adding, you know, lunch onto that, that's really tough on some of those parents. And so, you know, maybe you can do that or be a volunteer grandma, because there's a lot of us older women. I'm not older yet, but I'm, well, maybe kind of getting there. But anyway, that, you know, maybe you could be an adoptive grandma. I don't know if they do that anymore, but I know they used to. And I remember being in school, and they had where us kids that had gone to junior high come back and be like a big sister, big brother to the kids that were in elementary. So they have things like that. There's so many things that we can do to be of service, whether you're Christian or not, that makes a big difference. And it may not feel like a big difference to you, but to that person or to that animal or to whoever you're doing that for, it could be the biggest world difference. I mean, imagine if you've got a single mom, for instance. I've been there, I've done it. I don't suggest it, but you do what you do, you know, and she's just tired. She's so tired. She's working, you know, 1, 2, 3 jobs, plus raising kids, plus trying to get them here and there and do all this other stuff. Maybe one day you can just say, you know what? Can I make you a dinner tonight? Oh my gosh, I wish somebody would have said that to me. I'd have been like, yes, please. But my boys got to be where, you know, when they started getting older, they would cook 1 day a week. So that kind of helped with that. But, you know, maybe she just needs a break. Or he just needs a break. You know, just, or a dessert. Something to, you know, ease it up just a little bit. So, I don't know. I'm blabbering on again. I know you guys say you don't mind it, but I feel so stupid when I don't know what I want to talk about exactly. I mean, I know it's in my heart. And it's just bringing it to words. Do you know what I mean? It's just bringing it to words. So, whatever. All right, let me wash my hands and we'll get started on the last one. All right, clean hands. I pulled that out. That looks amazing. You know, these tin things are so cheap nowadays. It's like, I almost think about putting a second one underneath of it so that it doesn't break through. But I used up some more of my chocolate chips for this. And I don't even have enough to fill that up. So I'm going to buy 2 bags. Ugh, gosh, they've gotten so expensive. All right, so the next thing I'm going to make is cake mix brownies. Now, when I post the recipe, it's going to be for a single, which makes an 8x8. So when you see, oh, Chris used a 9x13 and they're like wafer thin, I'm doubling the batch, okay? So I can do a 9x13. So I'm going to use 2 chocolate cake mixes. See, it didn't come out like that for me. I see all these other channels and it does that. I tell ya. I just must not be as organized. We'll just take it out. How's that? Alright, so we need 2 chocolate. And it says to use the dark chocolate. Did I use that? I used devil's food. It'll be alright. And then we're going to use 4 eggs. Hopefully today isn't too weird because I'm doing so much cooking with it. But it just has to be done. We still have some things to put in the bags. I still got to make sandwiches. I might have Jack bring the bags out and kind of finish everything except for the sandwiches. I got to clean my couch off because Emmy keeps thinking that he's got to make a big mess on Grandma's couch with his Pop-Tart in the morning. So, and I already clogged up the vacuum. So I'll have to use one of the handheld ones that I got for free. Because he likes to make a mess. Alright, so now we need a cup of vegetable oil. And then he wanted to feed it to me after he crunkled it all up. And I'm like, no, Grandma don't want that. Oh, you know what I just did? I doubled that and I didn't need to. Oh, guys. That helps a little bit. I'm sure they would have liked it, but I only need 2 cups of chocolate chips instead of 4. Oh, that helps a little. Oh, look at that. Didn't even fill it all the way. Jeez, oh, Pete's. I think they give you less now. I really do. And we want 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. That looks about like 2 tablespoons. I'm sure it will be wonderful regardless. And we're going to get all that mixed together. Get those unruly eggs all broke up. Break up, you little unruly eggs. This seems thinner than what normal brownies are like when you mix them. But I guess it's getting a little bit thicker. You know, I think one of the reasons that the homeless mean a lot to me, well, it's not my pet project or anything, but I can remember at 17, yes, I ran away from home in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning. I took a pillow and a small suitcase, and I had 2 pennies in my pocket. That was it. I had no job. My dad took my car away from me. I had nothing. And I walked down to, it was my neighbors across the street. They had some friends that lived probably about 10 blocks down. And I went up to them and I knocked on the door at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I said, I left home and I need a place to stay. Can I stay? And they're like, come on in. Well, a friend of mine, she got me a job at the airport. And these people that I went to go stay with, they partied all night long. Just crazy all night long. And so I got this job at the airport cooking, which I didn't know how to do, but I was learning. And so because it was so noisy, me and the guy that we were living together at that point, we would get in my car and go to park down by the river in a bad neighborhood. Not the smartest of ideas, I'm telling you. But I didn't like how that felt. And I found a place that was called the Highway Motel. They tore it down this last year, or the year before. But it was just it had a bed, a refrigerator, a hot pad, or hot plate, and then you had to do your dishes in the sink, in the bathroom, or in the shower. And eventually, when he seen that I could pay better, one of these efficiency came up available, and it had a stove, and it had a sink, and oh my gosh, you guys, it had a bathroom, and it just was amazing. And then from there, you know, I went to other places, but you know, for that short time that I had to live in my car, basically, I can't imagine the people that have to do that. It sucks. And not all homeless are, you know, on drugs and alcoholics. Some are, you know, normal people just like you and me. They just, for some reason, you know, job loss, whatever, and they have no place to go. So not all of them are druggies. You can tell the ones that are, believe me, you can tell. And you can tell the ones that probably should be on some kind of medicine, because they walk around and they talk to themselves, and I feel bad for them too. And then you see some of the veterans, and that really makes me sad, because you know, they've served our country and they shouldn't have to be living out in the street. It makes us sick, to be honest with you. You know, you go over and you fight in Vietnam and you see all kinds of nasty stuff, and you come back and you're not right. And they just don't do enough for them, and it makes me really, 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 really angry. I can't help it. It's like these people were willing to die for us, and we let them live in the streets. Oh, just, I can't stand it. And yet they're so proud because they still wear their things like Vietnam vet, all this other stuff, you know what I mean? And they're so proud that they serve their country. And I'm very proud of them too. You know, it's just that I remember my uncle going through a patch back in the 70s. Okay, you're going to put this in for 20 to 25 minutes. Those are going to be some nice thick brownies. I can remember him going through a patch where he was telling my grandma, you know, he bowled, and he's like, do you want all my trophies? And it's so funny because somewhere I had read, because maybe it was at school, I'm not sure, but I said, Grandma, Uncle Henry's going to kill himself. And she's like, what? And I said, he's giving everything away. He had a wife and 2 kids. And so she got so upset, she jumped in her car and she drove up to Harrison from Vestaburg. And she talked to my uncle. And that's what he was going to do. The dreams had overwhelmed him so badly that he just couldn't function anymore. And his mom coming up there that night saved his life. So we never know what someone's going through. You know, what we see as a minor something could be major for somebody else. We never know. So that's why I say to be of service to people. I'm not saying you need to go out and bring a homeless guy home. I'm not saying that at all. I've never taken any homeless. I have taken in kids. I helped one girl that her and her dad got in a fight, and she stayed with us about 3 months, and we got her back into school, got their relationship with her and her dad worked out. I've taken in a few nephews, one niece and a grandniece. You don't have to do things like that, but there's some little things that we can do to be services to other. It might be something little. Maybe somebody just needs to know they're acknowledged. Maybe someone just needs that word that says, you know what? I know it doesn't seem like it right now, but it's going to be okay. Sometimes that's all we need to hear, is just to know that we're not going crazy and that everybody else is going through the same thing too. And that, you know what, we're going to be all right. And I think that sometimes people just need to hear that. So when it's being a service, it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be, you know, some big whoop-de-doo. It doesn't have to be like that. You know, I've seen a lot of you that have done the same things with your grandkids and your kids, and I think that's wonderful. I think we need to, you know, like today, when we were going to the police department, there was a bunch of flags, and I said, what is that, AJ? And he goes, that's the American flag. And I go, for what? And he goes, the United States of America. And I go, do you like that flag? And he says, yes, I do, Grandma. And I go, do you respect the police? And he says, yes. I go, do you respect the fire department? Yes. Do you respect the military? Yes. Because these kids aren't taught that anymore. They're just not. So maybe we can be of service to our kids to teach them that, you know, we need to be respectful and be grateful for people that are willing to do things that we're not. I mean, I'll run into a building. I don't know if I could get anybody out, but I would try to save other people's lives. But can you imagine the people that do that every day? Yeah, I mean, it's a big commitment to be like that. I'm rambling on. But they're of service to people too, and that's why we want to make sure that we get them into it too. So, to show them that they are appreciated, that not everybody hates what they call the popo around here. Yeah, we want to make sure that not everybody thinks that, and that, you know, we do appreciate and respect you. And, yeah. Today's on those rambling things again. Do you notice that? I tend to do that. I don't know why. It's just part of my DNA, I guess. Maybe I just like to gab. I do like to gab. I know someone said, you know, my friend from Canada goes, unless I get a hold of you, you don't reach out. And a friend of mine said that to me last Friday too. I am not good about communicating out to people. I will communicate if you talk to me. I get so busy doing nothing. You know what I mean? But I get so busy that I forget. And I think about, you know, well, I'm going to reach out to such and such today, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then I forget. So it isn't that I don't love you. It isn't that I don't care. My mind, you should notice on Thankful Thursdays, it kind of just goes everywhere. And it really does. It's just who I am. So if people try to get a hold of me and I'm not reaching out to you, it's not that I don't love you, because I do. That's my personality, I guess. So we're going to let this stuff cool down, give you guys a break from me, which it won't be really a break because it'll be just a few seconds for you. And I'm going to get my mess cleaned up, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. All right, hopefully everything's cooled down now. But I was scrolling through Facebook, and I seen something that says, be patient. God is teaching you lessons through the circumstances. And isn't that true? And Kim, you made my day. You also made me cry. But she said that from seeing my video yesterday, you know, when she feels better, she wants to take cupcakes or cookies to her sheriff's office. And that's one of the reasons that I record that stuff, is because I'm hoping that someone else gets an idea and they can help someone else too. So thank you for that. Got me teared up. Because that's what it's all about. Let's pay it forward. Let's be good to one another. All right. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. Now, yesterday I had some of that frosting left. I had some vanilla and the chocolate left. So I just thought maybe I'd kind of not mix it up all the way, but kind of. Just so it kind of looks like a swirl maybe. And I thought, why not frost the brownies? Because I love frosted brownies. I don't know about you guys, but I love them. Let's hope there's enough frosting there. Might be a thin coat, but I think we'll make it. A little bit of frosting is better than no frosting, if you ask me. Why not? Well, after we mixed it in, it doesn't look very swirly, but that's okay. Look at that. I think they'll love it. And what I did, I had 3 containers left. So what I did is I doubled all of them because, boy, are they so weak. They're very, very weak. So what I thought I'd do so that they can see what's in it too is I'm going to use some of that pressing seal instead of aluminum foil. And that way they can see what's inside too. It's pressing seal that likes to stick to itself too. So I do like the pressing seal. I just don't use it that often because it's a little bit more expensive. So, and then I asked Jack if he had any wrapping tape. I don't have any left. I don't know where mine went, but there it is. Then what I'm going to do is on the top, I made up just little tiny labels. And this one will say frosted brownies. So they know what's inside. So there's the brownies. And this is the blueberry. And we have the cookies. All made from cake mixes. How cool is that? So, I know today was kind of weird, but I'm so glad you came along with me, and I really hope and pray that our little touch on the planet means something. It doesn't have to be a whole lot to be a little bit of a touch. And I love you guys. I really do. And I pray that, even if you don't believe, I pray that everything that you guys need and even want, that you get, and that you can spread the love that you give to me to others too. Because it really, truly does mean the world to me. I will be back for dinner. It's going to be a stew, I guess is what they consider it. But I've never made it. I've seen a lot of people do it. And I'm sure most of you have made it, but I haven't. And I'm going to try it. So I will see you tonight. And thanks for always coming along with me, guys. And tomorrow, for our Fun Friday, I hope you guys enjoy that too. And hopefully we can bless 24 people. And we can bless the fire department as well. So thank you very much for everything that you guys do. It means the world to me. You guys have a blessed day. And I do love you. Bye.